Greetings everybody and welcome to a Baking with Jim video. Today we are making a recent favourite of mine. We're making Portuguese custard tarts. My wife and I have got obsessed with these. On a Sunday morning we go to our local bakery, we get one each and we just kind of demolish it and it's amazing. As it happens, my wife also has a recipe for one in her book. This book is called Tanya Bakes, it's really good. Here is what you need. You need some milk, some eggs, some puff pastry. I don't trust myself to either make my own pastry or roll my own pastry, so I've got ready-made and ready-rolled. We need some cinnamon, you need some butter, some caster sugar, some plain flour, and some either vanilla, like fresh vanilla, and get the beans out, or some of this stuff, vanilla paste with little beans in it. I think this is actually going to be more confusing than it looks. There's only a few ingredients there, but custard isn't easy to make, so best get to it, eh? Step 1, warm the milk, cinnamon and vanilla gently in the pan until almost to the boil and then take off the heat. So I need 250 ml of full fat milk, a pinch of ground cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of vanilla puree, okay? Here's my pan. 250 ml. Oh blimey, that's more than I was expecting. 250, what was it, a pinch of this? A pinch of ground cinnamon. Ooh, it's one of my nails. Didn't like that one bit. There we go. Oh God, I really hated that. Then 1 teaspoon of your vanilla paste. Let me find my little measury doodahs. This looks weird. A bit like little tiny frog spawn or fish eggs, but it's not, it's vanilla. I promise. Warm the milk gently in the pan until almost to the boil, okay. Oh, I wasn't paying any attention, I need 40 grams and I'll put 64 in. Like a tit. So now I'd have to wait for the that milk to get hot. I reckon this is almost at the boil. I'm not sure how almost it should be, like should it be bubbling? It's certainly fizzing. So I think I'm gonna take this off the heat now and begin with my flour bit. I hate the idea of fizzy milk. Seeing as this doesn't need to be on the heat, I'm gonna do it right here, I think. Add a splash at a time. Was that more than a splash? I don't know how much a splash is. Oh dear. I'm not sure about this one bit. Is that how you make custard? Now, you're supposed to make a paste to begin with before you add any more milk. I guess that class is as a paste. I'm not really too sure. It's more of like a bunch of solids than a paste, I'd say. But I'm gonna add more, slowly and surely. Keep on stirring. One of my favorite things about baking with Jim is the sound effects I get to enjoy with you. Listen to this. Sounds better down there though, hang on, it sounds better down here. You're welcome. What I have currently is, part of it is kind of a porridgey texture, part of it is a milky texture, and other parts of it are just lumps floating. So far, it's not going great, this whole custard thing. So what it says is the whole thing's supposed to thicken. Currently I have very thick lumps and then quite a thin mixture. Okay, this whole thing's cooling down quite a lot now, so I'm going to put it back on the heat for a little bit. Just a little bit of heat though. In hindsight, now I think about it, I probably should have been on the heat the entire time because it's asked me to do this in a pan. If I didn't need any heat, surely I would have done it in a bowl, right? That makes more sense. So I think I'm just being dumb. I think heat was the answer because now we're getting a nice thick mixture. Still extremely lumpy, but there's less difference between, it's not like islands of lump floating in liquid. Now the whole thing is sort of like porridgey with a few big lumps in it. I can deal with that. Put the sugar and 100 milliliters of water in another pan and put over a low heat until the sugar has melted. Increase the heat to boil for 4 or 5 minutes until the sugar is syrupy. Be careful as it's incredibly hot. So 100 ml of water and how much? 200 grams of caster sugar. Okay, I can do that. 100 ml of water there and then 200 grams of caster sugar going into my measurer. Now, I get really excited by watching sugar dissolve. I don't know why. If ever I'm with someone who has sugar in their coffee, I always ask to put it in because I like watching it sort of sink to the bottom and melt away. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Do I put the water in first and then pour the sugar in and watch it dissolve? Or do I put the sugar in first and then pour the water on top and watch the whole thing melt away? I just don't know, but it's exciting for me. Also quite a lot of sugar too, so it's going to take some time to dissolve. This is exciting for me. I'm going to start with the water. I'm going to pour the sugar in. A low heat. Right, and let's pour it in until the sugar dissolves. Oh yeah, nice. I might have to stir this with chopsticks. I don't have a wooden spoon. Okay, chopsticks it is. Oh, very exciting. This is why I love cooking and baking stuff, because I just like science and I like watching things transform. Now I have to boil it for 4 to 5 minutes. Great, let's crank that bad boy up. Update on my floury mixture. Sounds good. So the next step is actually to slowly add the sugar mixture into the milk mixture and mix well. However, that's going to be boiling for a little while yet, so I'm going to move on. Put the egg yolks into a large bowl and whisk. 3 egg yolks into a large bowl. One. Before I begin whisking, I'm going to quickly attend to my sugar because it's going hectic and I want to make sure that I don't burn this place down. Oh my God, it's so weird. It looks like melted glass or something. I love it. Whisking, whisking, whisking. Wow, that was hard, blimey. Exhausted after that. Right, so there's actually nothing else I can do at the moment because the next step is to add that to that, and then after that, I need to add that to that. So I have to just wait for a bit. Okay, we're not at syrup stage yet, but I want to show you this because I just find it fascinating. That is the sugar all melted and stuff. I mean, it is hotter than the sun. If you were to touch that, you would immediately burst into flames and melt. But it looks cool and we're getting syrupy. Ooh, when you take off the heat though, the bubbles go, it goes really weird. God, I love science and stuff. Can you hear it? I don't want to hold it too close to me, but that's all like thick old viscous bubbles in there. Oh, it's starting to separate. Back on the heat. I fucked it, I think. By taking off the heat, I've crystallized it. I didn't realize that was a thing. I should have left it. Now it's mush. I'm gonna boil it again and see what happens. You can't take off the heat for long. The whole thing just turns to, oh my God, it's like a big lump of sugar. Gotta try and teach you some things, try and show you some science, and then the world punishes me. Yeah, so what happened was this. Damn it! Okay, I'm gonna leave it for a minute and see what happens. Do you know what? In actual fact, I think that's exactly what I needed because now it's turned kind of much more syrupy, whereas before it was like just kind of transparent. Now it's kind of golden and unctuous.
What colour is it now?
Like caramel? Right, that is just about ready to go. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly loosen this up with a good few stirs so that when I pour it all in, there's no resistance. Oh, hello, this is ready. Okay, look at my syrup now. I totally did the right thing. Now let's pour it in and mix. Oh my God, it's so hot, it's cooking the mixture. Have to be honest, I'm panicking slightly at this point. And I'm not mixing at all because my pan's moving as I do. Jesus Christ, look at it. Right, put that down, mix. Mix, Jim, and do not splash. One thing it has done though is because now it's a slightly different colour, the lumps that I had in there before are now very obvious. I also seem to have a little bit of sugar that didn't stir in quite fast enough. There it is. Oops.
I'm going to call it now and say I think you fucked it.
No, Georgia,
How?
don't be like that.
I don't
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna melt it a little bit more. I am not sure my custard's supposed to be that colour, if I'm honest, actually.
I don't think the sugar should have been that colour. I think you burnt the sugar, and that's why it's congealed and brown.
Right. I fucked it. I shouldn't have done that to the sugar, because the sugar, in hindsight, was very brown and I guess burnt. I quite like sugar that way, to be honest, but that isn't custard colour, is it? And by adding 3 egg yolks, I'm not going to make it any more custard colour, am I? However, I'm running short on time, so I'm going to continue and I'm going to make a new thing, which is going to be a Portuguese custard tart with brown burnt custard, I think. It's gonna, I mean, it smells amazing still. It's gonna taste delicious, so I'm gonna put in my egg yolks and then continue as if nothing's happening. One thing I missed actually is at this point, lucky I checked, I'm supposed to sieve this to get rid of any lumps, and as you can see, it's lumpy. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while for this to strain, I think. Oh, it's quite lumpy, isn't it? This might take some time. I might have to give it a little helping hand. So basically what I've made is caramel here, rather than custard. Well, I'm okay with that. Right, well, I think I've got just about all the juice I can get out of my lumps. so I think I'm gonna retire my sieve, probably to the bin, to be honest, because I think I've ruined it. Okay, and then let me whisk in my egg yolks. Who knows what's gonna happen here. Whisking and adding at the same time. Something's happening. I mean, it's not turning any more custard-like, but it's doing something. Look at that. You know what, I'm all right with that. Cover over with cling film. Don't have any cling film, so can't do that. And chill for 30 minutes or until needed. That I can do, I've got a fridge. Although, I think my bowl's too big for the fridge, so I might have to go back to the small bowl. Oh, I hate baking so much. Yeah, okay, small bowl. Out you come. Guys, that smells amazing. I know it's totally not what I was trying to make, but you know, accidents happen and great things come from them. Cool, that is good. Bloody exceptional. Preheat the oven to its highest setting and put a baking tray in to preheat to. Then grease your muffin tray. Slight issue with the muffin tray that I bought. I could only find one that was this deep, which is not very deep. But, I mean, at this point, who cares? Greasing my tin. We're supposed to make 12. I mean, I just don't know what I've got mixture-wise, to be honest. It's the wrong consistency, it's the wrong colour, it's probably the wrong amount. I'll grease up 12 to be safe. Unroll the pastry, remove the paper inside, then roll the pastry back up as tight as possible. Cut the roll in half, then cut each half into 6 pieces, so you have 12 slices all together. Let's do that before reading any further. Which is actually not the thing to do. What you're supposed to do, if you're sensible, as I learned in school, is to read all the instructions through before you begin anything, but ain't nobody got time for that. That was cool, wasn't it? Although I ruined it by saying it was cool. Should have just kept my mouth shut and quietly basked in my own ambience. That's floppy, isn't it? I'm not sure it should be like that. It smells terrible. It smells like it's gone off. It smells like it's gone off.
Oh my god, that's
Well, we've got to use it. Wow, this is sticky. I'm not sure this is right. I don't think peeling off the backing of pastry should be like skinning an animal. This just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know how, but somehow I've got pre-made, pre-rolled pastry wrong. But never fear, because I bought a spare. Only I kept it in the fridge, which is a good thing. Bad thing is I'm gonna have to roll this one myself. God, how have I made it to an adult? Look at me. I think that's thin enough. Now I need to roll it up as tightly as I can. Right, well, none of that went very smoothly, but here I have a big old chody log of pastry. Now I'm going to chop it in half. Now I need to cut each one into 6. Using your hands, flatten each slice as thinly as possible and then use them to line the holes of your muffin tray, pressing into each crevice. Oh, I will press those bloody crevices, I tell you that, after this. These are going to be much too big for that, aren't they? Right, that's just much too big. I might use muffin cases. Is that the wrong thing to do? I got some for an emergency. I'm gonna just get some out and see. It's not ideal, but it's better than that's happening. Can I just say, today's been a very stressful day, everyone, and I really thought this was gonna be cathartic, and I thought it was gonna like take the edge off and everything was gonna be fine. Actually, it's made me hate everything and everyone. So, excellent. I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point. All I'm gonna do now is get my mixture out of the fridge and I'm gonna spoon it in. I'm supposed to then brush it with an egg, all whisked up, and I just wanna go home and have a cuddle. It hasn't worked, today's been bad. Let's just forget it happened. Right, I've done 8 so far and I've got a little bit of mixture left, but it does say they're supposed to be full up to about 1 centimetre from the top, and some of them aren't, so I'm gonna just kind of top up. If I've got any left, I may do another one, but I'm not doing 12. It's gonna be embarrassing enough as it is. I don't want to embarrass myself 12 times. 1 bowl, 1 brush, 1 egg. Right, it's not going to be easy to brush these because it's like brushing liquid with liquid, but here we go. I'm going to brush around the edge of the pastry. Okay, now then, these go in the oven on top of that hot baking tray that I've been preheating for a while for 20 minutes. All right. Oh, fine. Okay. Well, I don't know if you can see on camera, a bit smoky in this room right now. I had it on high heat, I set the timer for 20 minutes, I left it about 15, I came back, and they were basically on fire. Here's what they look like right now. I mean, they're too hot to touch, so I can't try one yet, but... Oh, which one looks least offensively bad?
That one maybe?
Yeah, I would agree, wholeheartedly. So I've decided that this one is the one that looks least offensively bad. So let's cut her open and see what it looks like on the inside. I mean, do you know what? It doesn't look that bad. That's obviously not the colour of custard, but I was expecting worse. It smells amazing. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Well, it is good. Do you know what? It tastes exactly right. It just looks like a mess. It's bloody good though, and actually I like these best when they're cold because it all sets nicely and you keep them in the fridge and they're delicious. That tastes spot on. I think the problem I had, right, one, I didn't have the right tin, so I had to use a really shallow thing, which just didn't work, and then I had to use the little papery doodahs. Terrible idea. And I did my sugar wrong. Other than that, totally textbook, it's fine. These are really good. If you make them, let me know on Instagram or Twitter, use the hashtag bakingwithjim, and just pay a little bit more care and attention because they're actually, I can't believe it. I was not expecting it to taste like that and it's brilliant. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.